Jay, I'm very excited for this game though. Yes, okay, we're back into it, and Toronto have looked so good so far. Boston, we've seen a few little flurries here and there, but not quite the full package that we were maybe expecting. They maybe need to bring more of that level that we've seen in that week number 1. But I think the most important thing we've just been chatting about, you do not want to be starting in the losers bracket for your own major, the first one coming up in January. Boston, you got to find a win in this game.
You got to figure something out, and it's not going to be easy going up against Toronto Ultra because they've basically been picture perfect ever since the league has started, and it continues here as CleanX's finds 3 of already applies the pressure, and the spawns now flip. Boston already on the back foot.
Absolute disaster to kick things off, but CleanX has just been ridiculous so far this season. Every single time you're tuning into Toronto Ultra, it is a smoke show from the young Dane. Insight & Co now getting control over towards the security side. Envoy trying to get the cuts if he can, but it's a wonderful start for Ultra. 30 and rising. Spawn's very important here though, Jay. They've got them locked in pretty much straight away from CleanX, running the show.
Yeah, and now Boston Breach, they're getting this final couple of seconds at P1, but you gotta apply this pressure through Røkkr. Toronto came out picture perfect off this break. 35 seconds uncontested at P1, and now they maintain the spawns for next, but Capsidal with 2. Can it lead to anything? Nope, it leads to Inside finding 3 of his own. So Toronto Ultra at least find all the kills, but they don't have the spawn. So Boston, they're going to be here to try to find this break.
No, Inside tries his very best to stop something happening over towards the security side. CleanX now left all on his own. There's 3 picked up over towards Røkkr to kick things off in the map, and may well just be slowing them down. Scrap towards the back side isn't going to be able to do a lot. Toronto Ultra here in reinforcement to try and help CleanX up still. Inside of P2, yeah, picking up the points, but Boston yet to really close the gap, trying to get it down, and eventually will do so. 30 seconds to play with Boston. So only need these ones here.
Yeah, they definitely need this 30 seconds because if you're Toronto Ultra, you already are thinking a step ahead. We get 30 seconds off P2, great. Now we have full plane control. You're going to force Boston Breach to try to execute a break here. And Capsidal with that first kill, he's going to try to set up a pinch. You do have one player inside who spawns towards Laboratory, so he's going to try to get that other player off the old time, but they don't find any of the kills. Boston Breach, they do a great job of just finding the kills, finding the break, and now it's going to lead to great time in play.
It feels like Capsidal did that over towards P2. You've seen the work coming through Bookshop, finds a couple of kills there. That gets the security spawns for Boston over towards P2. Now over towards the back, he finds a couple of kills. Sets Boston up very beautifully now with 50 seconds to go over towards P3. Inside of the plane. Boston starting to try and get themselves back into this game after an early flurry from Ultra. What's the comms like with Boston Breach? Let's go for a listen.
I got him weak in the back, Top card, scrap, 3 in the back with no, 3 in the back with no. Do you have my cross?
Yeah, we're having a sec,
Close.
Hear me? I'm leading. Front, dead.
One more try.
I'll see you in the back.
One top lane.
Yeah, one shot. I have got
Top lane.
He's pitching me.
He killed me, bro. I just found it. They're gonna hit your friend never.
I heard for a sec.
One spawn right
Back use weak on time, back right.
Be on me, one shot. You're on then.
Who's James, breaking.
Yeah,
Back up time, dead.
Yeah, I got
I'm in book.
I need it.
Got that. Close book on me.
No, I got me. Close up.
Red done.
Copy.
That's more right.
Yeah, they're gonna be nice. They could be going on
Scrap, I think he's crossing.
I have gas.
Hallway, I'm sorry.
Could be books.
One red.
One pick on my books.
Yeah,
Read the books. Front, I'm done. One more front. Two. There's 2 P1, bro.
Alright, this one I actually saw. I have the plane cross.
They might house.
They can't be playing. Yeah, one low red.
I have VS.
Probably hall again.
Could be in me.
Stop telling. That's weak. It's a weak card. Last one P1.
Smiley actually saw. I have the plane cross.
And as soon as we jump into that listen, I got a little scared because you saw Toronto Ultra. They were able to find the break and then win a couple rotation gunfights towards the next hill. But Boston Breach, they were able to get that break in towards Røkkr with about 30 seconds left, flip these spawns, and now chain it to Library to take the lead. This is exactly the answer that Boston Breach needed to get back into this game.
No, it is indeed a lively one, but the trade's now starting to come through. Over towards the bookshop. Priestahh locking it down. Slasher is there with him. And it feels like, Toronto Ultra, we were speaking about it in the listening. they really lived and died by a few big moments coming in from CleanX towards the early stages of this rotation, and that's a big chunk of their time. Other than that, it's been, I want to say, quite sporadic, but Boston Breach doing a really good job at finding these breaks and finding the holes where need be as well. It's a 30-point lead for the side of Boston as we head back over towards P1. A rotation that looks very good for the boys in green.
Oh, man.
I mean, these are big kills from Toronto, though. Priestahh needs to stay alive. Going to fall down. Toronto Ultra security control immediately.
Yeah, that's exactly what Toronto Ultra wanted to do. They knew we can't have Eskies going forward, especially for P1 or P2. We got to try to flip. They find all the kills at the right time, and we're able to flip, take control of security again, and now chain it to this P1 time. And if you are Boston Breach, you got to do the same thing you did last time. Just apply this pressure, win a couple gunfights through the front end, and then try to flip them again. But so far, Ultra holding down strong. You have insight in towards Røkkr. The contest spot is all good. Slasher with the wallbang does take him down. And with those beams out of Priestahh, Boston Breach, they get the break.
They get the break, don't get the spawn that they wanted, though. Still towards those Eski side. Priestahh inside the point, though, with 25 seconds to go. Toronto Ultra in a prime position to try and contest this where they can. 20 seconds. Breach could do with this time, just with the positioning of Ultra heading into the next hill now, but Snoopy can find one. Trophies forced out. Priestahh and the boys. Here they go. Can they find the breakthrough over towards the backside? Inside trying to do his best to stay alive. It's important kills going to come on through. The reinforcements are here. It's going to be Scrap to find another. Toronto Ultra just about holding on to the spawns where they can. Scrap trying to stay alive. We're heading over towards P2. And really, it was from the bookshop that we've seen a lot of the work being done from Boston Breach. It was Capsidal this time. It was Slasher the last. Doesn't manage to find the kill, but to the backside we go. Capsidal slipped in there. Does find the kill. Now Insight. Pressure is on. Has to hold it down for the rest of the team who are on their way, but a slight break here for Breach towards the back.
Yeah, Boston, they breach in towards the back end. They flip the spawns, but now it's not leading to any time because Toronto, they have all the crosses watched, and the spawns are now going to flip on back. So you can take a deep F if you are Boston Breach. You're not going to get put in a headlock over towards this P2 side. You can properly set up if you lose all this time for that plain hill. And that's exactly what the call is probably going to be. 4 already in a row for Insight. Starting to take over in this game. Pretty sure I pulled out the back button. Yeah, Envoy's not having a good time so far on Terminal. Hopefully he starts to turn it around. But Ultra, they're going to be able to take the lead. But for how long? Because Boston Breach are fully set up into the nets.
Maybe a closer game than a lot of people maybe gave it credit for. So far, so good for Boston Breach. They are well and truly into this one. Envoy trying his best to get himself up and rolling. 7 and 21 from him. You're going to need to see a little bit more, but ultimately the important numbers are the ones at the top of the screen. Although that lead may well just change now. Boston Breach inside of the plane, locking this one down. You can see the position of Capsidal. He's going to be there for the pinch over towards the stairs, and like clockwork, the 2 kills coming on through. Snoopy is there to help as well, and inside the hill is Priestahh. Wonderful hold from Boston.
And now you're put in a situation now, if you're Ultra, we cannot contest Plain Hill anymore. We have to try to hold them at that side of the map. We have to set up properly over towards Røkkr. So they're going to cut their losses, give up about 40 seconds, but you cannot give up these gunfights. A big win comes in from Capsidal to take down CleanX. He does get the close one to his team, so nothing to be worried about yet, but Capsidal's not slowing down, son.
Fantastic work from Capsidal. Ultra need to lock this one down and will eventually deter Boston through the Røkkr side. Escalator's push not quite coming on through. Ultra spawning towards that side now as well. Boston Breach. They're going to be about 35 or so away by the time we get over to Røkkr. The time now starting to click in as we head over towards the next hill. Boston now meticulously going to try and find their way through. Security is going to be the hit, as so often it is. First kills are going to come through, playing the corner. Well, he's actually not going to find anything. There was one player towards the backside. They fall, and all of a sudden, Priestahh starting to find this push. Is this the break for Boston Breach? Inside the point, just trying to lock it down. He gets wiped out. Boston Breach inside the hill.
And they can win it here too, Ton. You have to try to contest this if you are Toronto. A good nade comes in from CleanX to take out Snoopy. So it's just keeping this hill white now. But we have to flip these spawns if you are Ultra. You just have to get past Priestahh, who's beaming. Snoopy, who's currently beaming. Boston are not giving up. They're fighting for this final 20.
220 and rising. Boston Breach cannot win it here. Toronto Ultra certainly cannot. We'll be heading over towards another hill. Snoopy doing his best here, sitting at 27 and 19. The young god slaying it out for the Boston Breach. Over towards the bookstore we go. Toronto Ultra need to start finding some kills and finding them very, very fast. Envoy needs to get himself online. The rest of the boys, they're there, they're frying. We don't like to try and lean into kills too much, but he's very much lagging behind. But can the rest of the guys on the Toronto Ultra side find a break over towards the bookstore now? 20 seconds to go. Boston still in control here, Jit.
Boston still spawning in towards the back. They're trading efficient in towards the library. Inside trying to be the player on the flank to make something happen. He finds 2. He's 24 and 12. This guy is going going off. Someone needs to help him, and that two-piece right there might have just been enough for Toronto Ultra to stay alive a little longer.
Might just keep them away. 11 seconds now for Boston Breach. Slasher will find one. Over towards the generator. Slasher will find a second. You need to lock it down if you're inside. He's holding the back. Kleenex, you hold the front. Is that the bait from Slasher? That may well find a way through. The back is being lost, and as has the hill. 15 seconds to go now. Boston Breach continue to lock this one in. Toronto Ultra spawning nowhere near. And Boston Breach come out swinging. Map number 1 goes over towards the Boston side.
That is exactly what I needed to see right there, Ton. You were asking me before this match started, what do we need to see out of Boston? How do they make this a series? It all came down to map 1, but they dominate in that map 1 when it came to the rotations. The only real shining light for Toronto Ultra was the beginning of that game when Kleenex drops a 3-piece, flips the spawns instantly, and they were able to chain it to P2. But everything else on the map was all Boston Breach. Great at the Plain Hill towards P3, but even better at the Burger Hill towards P4. They were the first team there on the first rotation. Even though it got a little scrappy, they walk away with a majority of the time, and they take the spawns. They do it again for the second time, and that eventually leads to the victory for Boston Breach. You got the young Røkkrs who came out to play. Snoopy just went crazy in map number 1. Obviously, on the opposite side for Toronto Ultra, Envoy didn't have the best. If he spawns a little bit, probably a closer game, but Boston Breach shut all the haters up. They said, we're here to stay, and that's a great map number 1 win versus a team like Ultra.
And that's just one of those moments. You know, I was sitting there at home watching the very first game between Breach and FaZe and thinking, oh, you know, Breach are really hanging, or FaZe a little bit slow off the blocks. But hey, look, Breach, they look great in that series. Since then, have looked a little bit sloppy. And honestly, when Kleenex came out with a 3-piece to kick things off, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be another 3-0, boys. This one's going to be quick. But Boston Breach, a hell of a lot of fight in them. Insight, though, had a ungodly game for Ultra, and ultimately it didn't matter. And usually when you see a performance coming out from a player like Jamie Craven, just like that, you think Ultra are gonna have this one in the bag. But Boston Breach, so scrappy and just getting in amongst it when they needed to. The rotations were really, really nice. Capsidal making some good work over towards the back, playing an early rotation over towards P1. I mean, look, they just chained some hills together, found the kills that they needed, and find map number 1. A turn up for the Bucks here. Between these two sides, it really isn't the expected outcome. In map number 1, Terminal Hard Point goes the way of Boston. Karachi Search and Destroy and Highrise Control will certainly be seen. But will we see Invasion? Double header, Hard Point and Search and Destroy in maps number 4 and 5. Man, that's going to be a good series to lay out the rest of it, Jade. This is unprecedented to a certain degree. Everyone's kind of been looking at Ultra and sort of saying, look, these boys have been slamming people. Ultimately, though, we were saying this is their hardest game that they would have had so far. It turns out that's right. 1-0 for the Boston Breach.
It definitely is, man. The young guns came out to play. Slasher was going big when he needed to for a couple 2-pieces off the rotation, but you take this momentum now if you are Boston Breach versus the team in Toronto Ultra, who everybody has really high in all the standings between the teams. You get that done in map number 1. Now you're going into a map number 2 in Search and Destroy, where they're currently sitting at 0-4 in the season, but a majority of these Search and Destroys, you got to look at them and be like, Boston were in the lead, they had control, and they just simply choked it. Versus a team like Toronto Ultra, who's fairly a new team. Envoy just joined the lineup. That's going to be their weakest game mode. That's the only loss that they have now alongside the Hardpoint that they did just lose. Search and Destroy has been a struggle for this Ultra team, at least in that one match. Can Boston Breach try to capitalize it with the momentum that they now gained off of map 1?
Can they keep it going? That's going to be the story. But the new player on Toronto Ultra, Envoy, really not having a great time with things there. But Kleenex is somebody who has been standing out so far in the CDL. Looking over towards the KD so far, the SMG duo very much getting the job done. The team north of the border, that is it, of course, in Search and Destroy. These two boys have been frying, Jay. It's going to be hard for Boston to counter what's going to go on here, but we've seen some good things from Boston in that map number 1. They're going to be coming in swinging.
Oh, yeah, you best believe they're coming in swinging, because the rookie led the way in the kills. Like 32 and 22 out of Snoopy. You know that guy's moving and grooving around the map. And then when you get that map number 1 win underneath your belt, you're also going to have the confidence in Capsidal. So I'm really excited to see those guys square up and take map control against this Toronto Ultra roster.
Which way will this one go? Over towards Karachi Search and Destroy. Already. Predictions be damned for today. Well, especially in that game number 2. I didn't have the 3-0 for LAG. I'm not
Me either, bro. They came out swinging, though.
Oh, man. What a game that was from the boys on LAG. And can Boston provide us with another upset here today? A 2-0 lead will certainly set them on their way if they can find it. But over towards Search and Destroy, Toronto Ultra have had their struggles, but we know how well-rounded this roster has been since its inception through every single version of it that we have seen so far. But aBeZy on this roster will be looking to pick things up in map number 2. CleanX already getting aggressive. Slasher ready. There's blood over towards Boston Breach, holding tight so far over towards B.
Yeah, it's a perfect read right there from Slasher to find that first blood onto CleanX. No trophy systems to work with, so you know they're not going to get aggressive up on that B site, so he plays it patient. He's able to find the first kill, so now Envoy's going to invest that smoke, try to take a better positioning towards the bottom of this bridge side, but Boston Breach, they're ready for it. Look at the positioning of Capsidal, ready to make a play.
Great position for Capsidal to be in. Oh, and just the timing doesn't work out for Insight, but he's gun goes Snoopy. And it traded out. Capsidal has been spotted, has been tagged. Envoy flying. Capsidal will say no thank you. There's the kill. And all of a sudden, what was looking like a 2v2 is a 1v3. What can Scrap do here in round number 1? He's being called out. He has tagged the player up, but Snoopy will say no. A couple of big gunfight wins. And Boston Breach continue where they left off on the hard point, 1-0.
Yeah, if I'm Envoy, I want that one back, because if you're able to find that kill on a Capsidal, you make it a 2v2. Now you force him to start peeking towards this B bomb site. But once he loses that gunfight, Scrap left in the 1v3. Snoopy throws a little shimmy through the bottom fountains area, and then just snaps on him with that rival 9 for Boston Breach to get the very first round win on the defensive side. But till the attack they go, this is something that we talked about in the Monster pregame. They struggle with their attacking rounds. Can they try to fix it here?
An attacking round straight out the gates would be wonderful for Boston. Aggression from Snoopy. Here he goes. He will get caught though. With his pants down, so to speak. Envoy will get out as well. No trade is there, but the CleanX crew comes on through. Capsidal will get taken down. CleanX will find another. Continuing to impress in Search and Destroy. And well, just in general, to be honest with you. Priestahh now, what can he do? It's a quick shot punch. What year is it? Scrap will get taken down, but the trade is there. Toronto Ultra very, very fast and swift around to answer back.
Yeah, Ultra just were ready for that push. They were expecting the mid push, and it plays right into their hand. Envoy is the only player over towards that A site, but gets no info, no nades coming over the top. They have to be applying pressure over towards B and mid. Finds the time in to get the first blood, and then Capsidal gets picked apart as well. Once you shut down the 2 most aggressive players, everyone can slow down and try to work the picks, but they just continued on with that pressure to secure that round.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when Envoy doesn't get traded pretty much immediately there, that's a tough round for Boston. Capsidal will find the first blood onto Envoy this time around, though. Good shots and clean ones. Coming in from CleanX over towards Sasha. 3v3 now.
A lot of time still to work with. CleanX is currently on a 4 streak, so he probably just wants to take his time. Can potentially earn himself a cruise missile, and the call is now going to come in for Ultra. Let's rotate over back towards this A site. You still have Scrap being an island player over towards B. Can he find a timing? Does he check the corner? No. Information is now going to be gained. They're going to try to isolate Scrap over towards B site.
Snoopy now. What can be done? Doesn't go for the check inside. We'll get this one down. Straight into the bus you go. Hope you paid your fare, Jamie. Snoopy now looking over as he spotted him. CleanX has spotted Snoopy. Priestahh will find the kill on the inside, though. All of a sudden, it is 3 versus 2. Nade over just to check, and all of a sudden, CleanX is left on his own. Not in a bad spot to defend this, but 3 members of Boston Breach going to try and do something about it. CleanX will be able to find the first one, dipping and diving, but that bomb is being defused. Has he got time to find himself over there? He isn't going to manage to check it. Snoopy will get the defuse. Priestahh on Overwatch. Boston Breach just about get that one done. A little bit scary for a second, but has to be said, though. The setup from Ultra looked okay, but broke down very quickly.
Yeah, I was excited watching that setup from Ultra, because you keep Scrap at bay. Now he's putting 2 players from Boston Breach solely focused on him. We're trying to trap this guy on this side of the map, so it's going to be a 2v1 on the opposite side. Free bomb plant. That's awesome. But if you're the first player to drop, especially over towards that A site, they now know that Scrap is still on this side of the map. We don't have to worry about him. We isolate him, and then eventually turns into a 3v1. Boston Breach, again, strong on the defense.
And they find that elusive attacking round. That could be the difference maker here in map number 2. Smokes out from Capsidal. And ultimately that will set and line the motion of everybody else on this map. Smokes out, that's info to a certain degree. CleanX maybe gets a little bit greedy to check that one. Slasher will find the kill, and is this Boston's chance? Complete B-side control. Toronto Ultra gonna have to go for the retake here. Can Boston get that bomb down under this pressure though? Not quite going for it yet, but may well do it soon.
Yeah, it's just a little difficult now that you already invested that smoke. You don't want to get bad timing and catch one of your players without a gun in his hand, but Capsidal's now going to decide to lay it. Has insight, spotted that cross. I don't think he did. So Capsidal's going to be able to get out with his life. 3v4 on the retake. What can Toronto Ultra get?
We'll have to conjure up some sort of magic here if you're Ultra. Insight. Well, he's done it before. It's not going to happen this time. Boston have struggled on the attack, but get one under their belts this time around. Looking very, very nice for Boston Breach here, who just seem to have come out the block swinging.
Yeah.
Search and Destroy look the same, Jay. It's kind of the same story. It's nice and clinical from them every single time.
Yeah, the teamwork right now is on point. You get Capsidal to invest that smoke grenade on towards the site, then you force Kleenex to reposition himself to try to check it. When attacks are going down at B, you're most likely thinking, especially with the smoke, that bomb is getting planted, but it does not. It leads to him getting first blood and then just slowly picking them apart as the round goes on. Now leads to Boston. 2 in a row, up 3-1. Back on the defensive side. This time, though, it's Scrap finding the first blood on the Capsidal.
That is a big kill as well, but Snoopy equally as big over towards the other side of the map. Will find one, but does get traded inside now. Is able to plant this bomb. He's going to get it down, but Priestahh and Slasher very much on their way. Priestahh, yeah, is going to wait for Slasher to come over before he starts to make a move. Austin through the middle of the map now. Envoy set over towards top red. 2 versus 2. Next kill is massive.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. Priestahh was just playing impatient, waiting for his teammates to get here and takes down Insight, makes it a 1v2, but now positioning known. Envoy finds the trade onto Slasher in a 1v1. He's just going to stick it.
Pros don't fake, but Envoy always checks. Priestahh goes for the defuse. Envoy will fly on through, though. Bomb not going to get defused this time around. And it feels like an important round for Ultra. That would have been 4-1 to the Boston Breach, and that is a very different scoreline to 3-2. Nicely done by Toronto Ultra. The aggression comes through. Envoy clutches up. We knew the next couple of kills were going to be very, very important. But Envoy putting to bed the performance of map number 1. Important kill from him, 3-2.
And now Ultra back on the defensive end. Envoy trying to hit a couple routes. He was trying to get into its top red, but epically failed there. So now we're going to be playing it towards the bottom of the ticket. Potentially he's going to have some information of a player standing on the backside of this door. Now he's just switching up corners, just waiting for Boston Breach to strike first.
Oh, Snoopy kind of gets caught a little bit. Inside goes for the check. The backup was there. Even if he did find the kill, it would have ultimately been a trade. But Toronto Ultra get a little bit more than that. Now the push for Boston Breach. Defaulting back over towards the B side, but could do with finding a pick before they even consider doing something here. The smoke is maybe just bait, but can slash it. Find a catch with it. Not looking likely so far. Toronto Ultra holding tight.
Holding tight, but unfortunately Slasher finds the first kill. Slasher's able to find 2. Almost snaps on for the third, but that's now going to be a 3v2 situation where it was just a 4v3. It's going to allow this B-bomb to go down for Boston Breach. Priestahh in a great spot, takes down Envoy. Now it's all left up to Scrap. Now positioning known. 1v3 for him.
It's just looking impossible for Scrap. Not going to happen. Boston Breach pull one out of nothing. Toronto Ultra was set up so well.
Yeah.
Smoke comes out for Boston. You use like the utility. You don't find anything. But then it peaks so late. Boston was so patient. Slasher finds 2 and the round with it.
I just think right there, if you're all Ultra in a 4v3, once that smoke goes down, if you're not instantly able to check the bomb, let's just give it up and play for the retake. Because once the smoke clears and Kleenex goes for the chow, that's when Slasher picks him apart and he finds a second one for free towards the middle of the map. So just gotta play your numbers a little bit more tighter.
Frustrating one for Toronto. It's been a frustrating series so far. And we'll get a little bit more frustrating with that. Snoopy, another first blood over towards the Boston Breach side, and he is just dipping, dodging, weaving around the Ultra players and surviving somehow. Snoopy skating around and just locking the site down. Kills have been traded, but number 3 for Snoopy. Boston. 1 round away from going 2-0 up.
He was literally dancing with death just now, Ton. And he took him. That's unbelievable what he just did. The fact that he was able to throw a pre-nade, I thought he would have had the second kill for free, but he throws the nade at his feet. For some reason, the guy just runs straight at him, gives him a free 2-piece, and then he's able to dance around and towards the ticket and finesse and find the final kill. Snoopy just shuts that whole round down by himself, and now this applies Boston Breach to be at game point.
With some defensive rounds heading their way as well, they will be feeling much more confident about their Search and Destroy gameplay right now, about their chances of making that winner's bracket at their home major. It's looking a little bit more likely now. 5-2 up. Need one more round. We've seen teams crumble to the pressure of Ultra many a time, though. They have more than got it in the locker to bring this one back. Boston Breach maybe being a little bit passive in this attack. Just trying to find out where Toronto Ultra are sitting up. And boy inside the top red. Not going to see any information, but no information is information. Boston Breach, where are they? Ultra, not sure.
And they're just getting by all these players' screens. Finally, Inside is able to spot one, but the bomb is now going to be planted. 4v4 on the retake. You have Envoy and Inside. Envoy actually looks like he's going to get into an engagement. Big kill to find the first, but Slasher instantly there for the trade.
Oh, this is huge. Scrap. We'll find Slasher as well. Oh, and Envoy just about finishes up. Priestahh. Snoopy's just staying alive inside a restaurant. Now in a 1 versus 2 will be a 1v3. Shots ringing on through. The Diner. Can he continue? Oh! Snoopy snaps onto one. Can't find the second. The trade is in, but things got a little bit scary. Ultra finding that first kill on that retake was so important. And the trades fall through. Toronto Ultra survive.
Stay alive a little bit longer, but man, this young man Snoopy, he's just putting on a clinic. Every time I watch him in a gunfight, like, I don't know how he does it. He does it with the rival. He does it with the MCW. It does not matter. Almost clutches the 1v3 for his team to call game. But Toronto Ultra stay alive a little bit longer in this search and destroy. I would love to see them just develop a strategy where they're just 4-hitting something. Like, let's just 4-hit something. Let's throw all strategies out the window. Let's just try to use our gunny to our ability here.
It's never seemed to be the Toronto Ultra way, but sometimes you like to see it. CleanX now going to put himself into that similar position. Our boss is going to read this once more. Shots ringing on through over towards the B site. Potentially compromised if you breach here if CleanX decides to make a move this way or that. Just staying put. So far, so good. Capsidal in a wonderful position to do something about this, but has it worked out in his favor? Gets himself over towards the market side, and if Capsidal can stay alive here, it's a huge problem for Ultra. Oh, Snoopy tagged up. First blood did go over towards the Ultra side, but Capsidal in such a fantastic spot will find one. Looks over towards top 3, will dip out as well. 3v3J. Snoopy and kill. Trying to find something. Capsidal will find another, though. He's been an absolute menace over towards the market side. 3 versus 2 now. Toronto Ultra, not much they can do. We'll find another. 2 versus 2. Snoopy lingering around the middle of the map, but Capsidal has just locked it down from the market side. They need to get rhythm with 15 seconds to go. He cooks the nade, and that's 3 for Capsidal. Snoopy's baiting out. The ace is on the cards. The ace and the map is there for Capsidal and Boston. 2-0 up against Toronto Ultra. Phenomenal performance, left, right, and center. The S&D was for Ultra, well, maybe somewhat continued, but Boston Breach, much better. 2-0 up in this series. And looking good against the consensus best team on the game. A lot of people have been saying, but Boston getting the job done. Wonderful work in the search and destroy. 6-3. My word. Boston Breach, phenomenal from him. Specifically from Capsidal. Fantastic work. Toronto Ultra, a lot of work to do. Boston Breach, 2 to the good now. And have 3 more maps to potentially close this one out. We're going to see Highrise Control. Will we see Invasion at any stage? I am not too sure with the way that Boston have been playing this one. I'm not sure that Ultra are going to be able to bring this one back, but we will find out if they can on the other side of this break. Fantastic work from the side of Boston Breach, but can Ultra bring this one back? They need a reverse sweep to do so. Find out on the other side of this break.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Start the season strong with the Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL Operator, Weapon Blueprint, and so much more. Check out the Call of Duty store in-game now. Don't miss out on all the action at the first Call of Duty League Major, hosted by the Boston Breach, this January 25th to the 28th at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway in Boston. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to callofdutyleague.com for more info.
Well, Toronto Ultra looking to hand out some early Christmas presents here to Boston Breach. It's a 2-0 lead for the Boston side. Looking very, very good for them so far. Toronto Ultra, just not much of an answer at this moment in time for what has been really, really great teamwork out outside of Boston, but Capsidal popping off in the final round to secure the search and destroy. Multiple players on Boston popping off in the hard point to get the job done in map number 1. But a 3-0, Jay? I don't know, man. Surely not. Surely not another one. We got you, bro. We got you, bro. But hey, look. Snoopy is being... Oh.
I think I'm unmuted now. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man. Hello.
Yeah, Snoopy's going crazy, ton. Snoopy's going nuts.
Consensus is Snoopy's going kind of crazy. Kind of continue it here, though, against Toronto in map number 3. Phenomenal in 1 and 2. A third. Could he possibly do it? Highrise Control coming up right now. Or can Toronto bounce this one back? You wouldn't put it past them for a reverse sweep to end, well, 2023 for the CDL. We'll be back, of course, after Christmas, but hey, Boston Breach would love to be heading into 2024 with a win underneath their belt. It's over from Snoopy towards the B side. Grenade will hit as well over onto Scrap. Toronto Ultra just trying to feel themselves out here. Can they find some kills? Capsidal, Snoopy, the one snapping left, right, and center. Snoopy is shooting hellishly straight right now. Boston find a very, very clean wipe and now can push forward. Can they cause these spawns to just be absolute havoc for Toronto Ultra? Pushing maybe just a little bit too far as Snoopy. But is the damage potentially already done? Capturing over towards A, capturing over towards B. Are they going to try and concentrate on one thing in particular? Not looking likely. Insight and Scrap. Big kills coming on through. Looking very, very scary for Ultra for just a second there, Jay. I think I've got you back, but...
Yeah, I'm back.
Come out swinging.
I think I'm back. But Boston Breach, they came out swinging. Toronto Ultra, they were able to stop the bleeding, though. Now maintain that map control. And now apply that pressure to try to keep Boston at bay in their spawn. The only player out right now is going to be Priestahh. What else can he get done through the bottom middle of the map while his teammates are trying to fight out of the base? Ultra, no sweat off the brow, though. They have map control. They're doing exactly what they need to do to try to secure this win.
Next couple of kills. Important for both these two teams. Capsidal has managed to find a way out, and well, Nelly found the bullets from Kleenex as well. A couple more kills coming through for Boston now. 27 seconds on the clock. That is going to be stopped. Pressure over towards the B side. Kleenex staying alive. Push pressure over towards the A point as well from Envoy. Good shots coming in from Slasher. We'll eventually get the final ones onto Kleenex. Slasher and Snoopy, though, putting the aggression on. And Snoopy now in the spawn. Boston Breach in a wonderful position to maybe secure this round. At least going to secure B. Great pressure coming in from Snoopy.
That's exactly what you need to do. Chain your kills to being more aggressive up on the map and basically putting them in the headlock in the back of their base. Now leads to Boston Breach, completing that B point, already one segment over towards A. You have Priestahh trying to go for a route, but Kleenex with the perfect read to keep him at bay. A minute 15 left on the clock. Snoopy trying to go for another route. Can he get this kill? No, he cannot. Ultra so far holding on.
A minute to go. Live's not looking too bad on either side. Boston Breach, an ever so slight lead. Capsidal just creeping his way up. Scrap will deal with him. Slasher, though. They are looking very, very good. Priestahh is there to back him up and a bit of pressure over towards the A side. Big fight going to go on over towards the B side of the map as well with Inside. Just trying to stay alive in and around the crane. Snoopy funding.
Oh!
Boston chipping away. Snoopy will find the kill on the inside, but Scrap and Envoy doing well just to stem that tide. Just that little bit in here maybe comes every single kill that they need. Kleenex can get a kill onto Slasher. Priestahh's going to be there as well. These are important kills for Boston. Can't get the job done, but Ultra only with 5, make it 4 lives remaining. Jay. Made V4 now. Boston need one more sector. Priestahh will find Envoy. 3 lives remaining. This will be monumental from the Ultra side. Scrap taking plenty of bullets, but Priestahh may be the final nail in the coffin of round number 1. Attack Boston. Phenomenal work out of them, Jay. Just flying left, right, and center. I mean, look,
I don't know what's going on, Ton.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know how they want to 0 up in the control. I don't know if you're there or not. They're 2-0 up in the series, man. Boston Breach just looking phenomenal.
My stuff is breaking, but Boston Breach, they're making up for it. They are dominating so far in this series. You're walking away with an attack on Highrise versus a team like Ultra? Oh, yeah, they're on point right now.
Toronto have got to be feeling a certain kind of way. 2-0 down in the series, 1-0 down in your favored mode in control. Can they turn it around? Let's go for a listening with Toronto Ultra.
Right, heli stairs right now. I'm absolutely oil, heli stairs weak.
Heli steps on oil.
He's radio right now.
Point. Dead.
What's top heli as well?
He's oil.
Top oil. Yep. Slasher.
That's got heli.
Slasher's Buffy. Oil. I swear. I see him, bro. I don't know where he went.
Going left, you guys. 1 point.
Slasher's left. No, yeah. Oil, bro.
Might have hit our under.
Still oil. Flanking you street.
One's low under 2.
One B straight.
Yeah, one B down as well.
Down's on me, yeah. Just jumped on me, top point.
On deep.
Capsidal on point. We're just living, bro.
Elevator 2 and on point.
Like that.
Gotta push out left.
I think he pushed our street. RB street maybe.
Same. Didn't hit him.
Go low blue, Cap. Our side under.
Right.
1 shot.
Beat arm.
In blue now.
Absolute beat arm.
Yeah.
Went back towards the underground steps.
Dead. One more B street.
Underground steps dead.
I'm coming left to you. Hang on.
One's left.
Still oil,
B.
yeah?
Yeah, stay
Once
down.
you push up blue.
Challenge.
One B,
Dead.
dead.
Nice, so just stay back. Beat arm right now.
Ivor left.
He's
Behind
down.
us, in our
Top right, yeah, top right.
He's under
Underground
sentry.
steps dead.
Nice, that's it.
Doing the fucking movement shit.
Dead.
I'm one shot, bro.
Stack
Yo,
your
A side, A side.
Yeah, I'm holding heli stairs.
Team A side.
I'm chilling out left.
I think heli stairs.
I have the heli steps right now.
Snoopy dead.
Yo, ladder.
Ladder, weak.
There you go.
He's there underground.
And I expect nothing less from Toronto Ultra Comms. It's nice, calm, cool, collected. Doesn't matter if they're up 2-0, down 2-0, down 0-3. Does not matter. They're going to sound the same, so that is going to allow them to slowly try to work their way back into this game as they complete that beat point, but not really the cleanest gunfight there from Kleenex. It leads to Boston Breach finding 3 around the map, and now they take map control right on back.
I just made a noise I don't think I've made in a very long time. I was aghast at Kleenex losing that gunfight. Boston peg back just a little bit here, though. Those couple of kills will allow that tension to be eased ever so slightly. Snoopy does get taken down for a scrap on the other side. Toronto Ultra just trying to keep this one chaotic. On down in lives, though. Slasher getting aggressive in and around the spawns. Can he start to just stagger this push from Toronto Ultra? Kleenex first on the chopping block is going to find a second over towards the left side. Not going to be there. Kills traded so far, though, is fine for Boston. As long as they keep the players alive in good positions like this. Priestahh sent themselves up. Well, fine, not quite. Another one at the Kleenex, but butters him up. Ultra coming in for another push.
It's only 35 seconds left, too, so they probably have 1 or 2 more good pushes. They have to lead with kills. Envoy at least there for the trade. Kleenex finds the second, so Toronto, they're going to be here. Can they shut down Capsidal? Ooh, great job of at least trading him, so the time is now going to be paused. Slash to the next guy up. He falls. All of Boston Breach now stuck in their base. You just have to take care of Insight. They do that. Priestahh with the great nade to get him off the time. And now there's only 2 players from Toronto Ultra who can make something happen.
8v6, make it 8v5, make it 8v4. Boston just slaying with the best. Envoy trying his best to find a way through. But Toronto Ultra, one more roll of the dice. Can they find a pick through? Not if Slasher's going to find that gun. Not if Snoopy's finding that one as well. It's now a 2 versus 6. Make it a 0 versus 6. Boston Breach are running away with this one, Jay. 2-0 up in the control and the series. Map point, match point for Boston Breach.
They are not trying to start in losers bracket at their own major. So far, we were wondering if Boston Breach was going to be able to hit that level that they had versus Atlanta. Even though they lost that series, every single map was down to the wire. I feel like this Boston Breach right now is at a higher level than that, the way that they are putting it together versus Toronto Ultra. Envoy, again, having a slow start in a respawn. Can he try to turn it around? I don't know if he's going to have the answer, though, because the rookies right now, more specifically Snoopy, he's doing it all when he needs to.
Phenomenal job coming in from the Røkkr. Snoopy. Slasher, Priestahh. I mean, it's just relentless from Boston Breach. The kill feed just looking wonderful for them so far. Insight will just about slow that down, but the pressure coming in from both sides now. Snoopy over towards A. The rest of the Boston team looking over towards B into the spawns. Envoy and Scrap will ease that pressure ever so slightly, but Priestahh just keeping it on where he can. Would like to extend this game clock. One tick about to come in over towards the B side. Slash and Priestahh keeping these kills up, keeping Toronto just about pegged back. Big kill coming in from Envoy, though very much needed that. Having a poor showing of things so far. Scrap will find a couple himself. And all of a sudden, Was looking like a really good position for Boston, is now looking like a phenomenal position for Toronto.
Finally, Toronto have some breathing room. They were able to get out of their base after a couple clutch kills coming in from Envoy and Scrap, but Priestahh makes up for it by shutting down 2 through bottom mid. So now you're going to allow your teammates to get out of the back of their base. We can slowly take the map control once again. Toronto Ultra are going to be turtled up towards their backside, but they're just trading efficiently.
Oh my.
21 to 16 in lives remaining. Snoopy, like I said, done. He's doing it all, man.
Absolutely frying. Now pushing forward, trying to keep that pressure on again. This spawn pressure is so important. Can't find the second. Priestahh is here lingering. Oh, he can't find the kill. Just about. ADS is out. And Kleenex will find that moment. That may well get Toronto Ultra on the scoreboard here. Scrap just trying to slow things down. Snoopy Slasher will be able to find kills, but Scrap is there to maybe answer back with a second as well. Big snap coming in, but is B going to be locked in? That's the important thing for Boston Breach now. That third tick about to fall on through. Capsidal controlling the spawn. Will be in a position to slow down the reinforcements, but he gets dropped. B is locked in, and all of a sudden Toronto Ultra are off, backs against the wall again. A is now on the chopping block. 1 minute and 10 to go. Look at the lives for Boston J.
Yeah, they only have 8 left if you are Ultra. Boston Breach, they have 13. Capsidal just goes crazy in the back of the spawn, finds a turn on onto Envoy to keep them in their spawn again. But now with only 1 minute left, Ultra finally able to work their way out. But where is Capsidal? This young man has been making play after play, and he's going to find another opening. Gets that kill onto Insight. Insight now coming off spawn. Can his teammates try to find anything else? No, they cannot. Ultra hold strong over towards the helipad side. A clean 4 dead. 6 to 8, and lives remaining now.
You must hold if you're Ultra. Slasher with a huge nade. Scrap.
Big trade.
7 to 5. Kleenex will find another one on to Snoopy as well. 6 to 5 now. Toronto Ultra must stay alive, and they're doing a good job at that. Capsidal will find the kill onto Insight now. 4 versus 5. Ultra, no lives remaining. Kleenex with a huge gunfight, but Capsidal will find one. 4v3, 15 seconds. Boston now making their way over. They're the ones that have to make the play. They have to be the ones to force the issue. 7 seconds. Priestahh with a gunfight and a Kleenex. There's 2 members of Ultra left alive. If you just gotta fly. Is it the 3-0? Merry Christmas, Boston Breach fans. It has to be Insight. Can he spoil it? Finds 2. What's going on?
What?
4 versus 1. Insight now left. Up against Slasher. This is for the map. Or for Insight and Code. They maybe stay into this one, but Slasher gunfight. 3-0 Boston Breach to close out 2023 in the CDL. It's a huge upset.
Man, oh man, ton. Boston could do no wrong. From start to finish of this series, you could just tell that they were playing with confidence. But then when you go up 2 overs